Finale of Suits. Finale. Shayna, I just said finale this time instead of episode. This is the first and last time I ever get to do that. And you might notice two magic windows next to me. On one, let's see if I'm directionally challenged. I am. On this side, you see the lovely and familiar Shayna. Shayna, say hi.
Hi.
And on this side, can I turn? Can I? It's this way. I'm mirrored. I'm not going to gesture. Okay. On the other side, whichever side that is, you see Core XO Corinne on Twitter. Core, say hi.
Hi.
Oh God, now I'm hearing my echo in another screen. Let me pause that real quick. Anyways, Shana, as you know, has been with us, gesturing the wrong direction, been with us for a bajillion Suits After Show episodes. Core is one of the Suits OGs that I've known since like the day I was born on Suits Twitter, and they're here to chat with me. So in keeping with tradition, Shana, you know how we do. We rate these on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being terrible, 5 being perfect. How would you rate tonight's episode?
It's kind of unquantifiable.
Okay.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I think there have been 133 episodes, right?
Yeah.
So we'll call it.
That
call
sounds
it number
right.
133. Yeah. That's where we're gonna put it.
Okay. And what if I asked you to rate the whole show on a scale from 1 to 5? What does Suits get rated? Like if you had to be like a local, just like rating the series on IMDb or whatever, what would you rate it?
Now it's not. I mean, it had like those 2 years. So
those 2 years. Core's like, yes, the 2 years I didn't watch.
Exactly.
Or I guess it has to be then to kind of account for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the impact is just.
Yeah. It's like, it's hard to rate when you're in our position, I know. Core, I know it's a little different for you. I'm going to start with just the episode. What would you rate just the episode? Coming from kind of a different perspective. You've sort of been off and on recently.
Yeah, so one of the problems I had with Suits is that I'm actually a lawyer. So every time the villain was someone who was like getting mad at them for doing unethical things, I kind of sided with the villain. But
I saw you siding with Faye tonight. I'm going to pit you and Shana against each other, and you're going to have to argue Faye's case, and Shana's going to argue against Faye.
Of course.
Faye loses in the end, so you're kind of doomed on that.
Right. I think with this episode, it was perfect. I'm coming from someone who watched Game of Thrones, had to deal with all that. Everyone fucks up a finale, but Suits didn't. Korsh surprisingly didn't.
He pulled it off in the end. Yeah, I'm seeing some familiar faces in the chat as well. Stormy Woods is with us. She says hi. I've also been absent for the last few chats, but I had to make this one. This one's getting a 10 out of 10. Sounds like she's agreeing with Shana and has been absent for a while at Core. She says the entire show's run, however, I'll give a 7 out of 10. I really want to rate tonight's episode like a 5 out of 5 as well, like a perfect score. I know it's not perfect, but I want to make the case that it's as perfect as it could be given how they set themselves up. Shana, I know you got to see the finale a bit in advance. How did you feel when you first saw it? Like, did it meet your expectations, exceed your expectations? Were you just bawling the whole time?
It actually came to me on Monday, and I had a break in my schedule that I wasn't expecting. So I took my computer over to my favorite Starbucks, and I had like a little over 2 hours to kind of watch it and absorb it before my next appointment. And that 2 hours wasn't enough because I kept going back and redoing things so much. I just remember kind of being on the edge of my seat for all the Faye stuff because I didn't know for a minute there if they were faking it or if it was real, and then when Harvey just took Donna's hand and gave her that look before he asked her to marry him, I really, if I hadn't been at my local Starbucks where all the baristas kind of know me, I probably would have been thrown out for acting mentally unstable. It was pretty emotional watching it. It was extremely emotional trying to sit down and decompose it. It was going to be the very last time I had the honor to do that. And yeah, I mean, I loved it and there are receipts, of course, on WhatsApp with Lizzie. I loved it from the first time, second time. The halftime, I had to watch it to finish up because I had to stop for that appointment. Just all along, kind of.
Yeah, I'm hearing how you feel watching it, and then like also seeing everybody on my timeline like reacting to it for the first time, and then seeing how they ended the show with the Suits family bit. Like, I really feel like this whole finale was about embracing fans, like all, you know, all the pieces where they've kind of kept certain things away from us all this time. They were sort of just giving us everything we wanted there. And Core, I know you kind of have had a long Suits wish list, not just for the villains to win once in a while, but also just certain things you've wanted for the characters. All this time, you've been very, very patient. Did you feel like you got everything you wanted out of the finale?
I mean, besides the glaring absence of Jessica Pearson, yes. But of course, in an interview or whatever where he explained it. But as someone who, spent a long time waiting for Harvey and Donna, it was nice to see them finally, like, make it legal in terms of the marriage. Because, they've been married for the last 10 years. But it was also good to see, like, Lewis come full circle and, and see Katrina get her name on the wall. It was really good to see all the characters we loved and all the newer characters that we eventually grew to like finally end up happy. It suits show that you can have everyone end up happy and it's still going to be a good episode of television.
Yeah, which I feel like is so uncommon. But Shana, correct me if I'm wrong, when you and I were theorizing like what would happen in the finale, neither one of us was really thinking these characters will meet a bad end. Like, we weren't theorizing about a sad ending, or were we?
I don't think we were. I know I definitely kind of always said that I wanted something exactly like what we wound up getting.
Yeah.
They're happy, but there's definitely, it's not a stagnant ending to the point where there's a clear stop. Like, these characters are going to go on, and that, Harvey and Donna are going to be with Mike and Rachel, and they're going to work, and everybody else is going to still be that firm, and so they're going to be getting into trouble on both coasts, really. And that there's Lewis has a kid to raise, and Donna and Harvey just got married, so clearly they have a honeymoon coming. And we'll have a kid to raise one day and name her Lily after his mommy. I think it closed everything off that needed to be closed off, especially when they kind of brought Malik and everybody back a couple episodes ago. And then now this, we're getting rid of Faye. And they did it. It went exactly where it always made sense to go. Harvey has always been that guy that when it comes down to it, he would do anything for the people he cares about. And that circle has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So, the second he told Faye he needed a moment alone, he's obviously was going to leave. In what capacity, it depended upon what they actually told us later. And it was the best possible outcome. So,
yeah. I loved the juxtaposition of like ethics and lack of ethics, sacrifice and lack of sacrifice, because to the end, they did not show these characters to truly be like your quintessential hero. It's why I was kind of surprised when they called Harvey Robin Hood at one point, and I was like, at what point has he been Robin Hood? He's not like the steal from the rich and give to the poor type. Like, he's been pretty cutthroat, and they've had a lot of like pretty, shitty ethics, but always for some sort of reason. It's like what Cora was saying earlier, they've been the villains, and they kept that through this finale, and I really liked that they all sat around and were terribly corrupt, but in a way that you could root for, or I could root for anyways. And then even if you look at like how Harvey and Donna got married, like there's this sort of irreverence to like wedding ethics, which I loved. I love the fact that they just hijacked somebody else's wedding. I thought it was hilarious. Donna wearing a black dress. I know the three of us were chatting before we went live about us all loving that. Like, there's just this sort of irreverence in a good way that they all seem to have. Cora, did you like the fact that they stayed sort of legally unethical all the way to the end as a lawyer yourself?
Yeah, because I guess like with suits, like I know that would not fly in normal practice, so it allows me a sense of escapism as a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But also to know that a lot of times they weren't doing these unethical things for their own gain, which is what a lot of people do unethicalness for. They were doing it for their firm. There's tons of people who work at this firm and have jobs. They're doing it, help their clients, which is a position that a lot of attorneys get put in. And I like that it ended up with Harvey acknowledging that it was just more of a gray area that he liked, and he wanted to go do the good work that Mike did. I'm someone who left private practice to go work at a legal aid, so I understand the kind of ethical situations that they get put into. I never really had, the only problem I ever really had with their ethics was Mike, practicing unlicensed, but that's just because I paid 6 figures for my license.
Understandable. I think it was a nice nod. I mean, obviously there was a lot of nice nods to Mike and his sort of shady history throughout this. But in addition to like sort of the quintessential nods, like the montage that I know we were all sort of teary over, there was that cute little moment that I think I saw both of you guys tweeting about when Harvey and Donna were about to get married, and Mike's like, well, I would officiate, but I'm not licensed. Like, there's cute little nods where they're very self-aware, and then they don't really push it too far. I don't know. I also just love that moment because Mike / Patrick J. Adams, he was kind of laughing during it, and it kind of comes across as breaking character, but it's also very much not breaking character because Mike obviously would do. I loved Patrick J. Adams' presence in the last couple episodes. It was hilarious. Mike, while I find his ethics, super questionable, I'll put it nicely, he has been such a fabulous character. Patrick J. Adams is an incredible actor, and I don't like praising men, but like, he's all right, I guess. Anyways, I will also agree the gaping lack of Jessica. That's why I have her standing right behind me. But hopefully we see her in season 2 of Pearson. Fingers crossed, right? Well, looking in the chat, Hessa said it was a good ending. We are going to miss Suits. Stormy says, can I just say another thing I loved is Katrina is named partner. Finally, she so deserves this. She also adds, I'll be shady for a minute because I know Cammie will get this. I love that Sheila and Lewis are happy. Darby got married on the same day as them, unlike certain bitter Flash couple. I was waiting for someone to pick this up. Oh, it looks like Shana might have lost connection. Hold on. Let me structure this. Okay, there we go. I was waiting for someone to pick up on this. The whole issue with Harvey and Donna hijacking the Lewis and Sheila wedding reminded me so much of Oliver and Felicity hijacking, I'll use the term loosely, the Flash wedding, another term I'll use loosely. I just loved the last little parallel there. Core, you may also be familiar with the concept.
Very, very
Yeah.
familiar.
Yes, Stormy, we do appreciate that very much. Hessa adds, Suits is not just a series, it's quotes, movies, family, seize the opportunity, and loyalty. Yes, absolutely. Let me message Shana real quick and make sure she knows she got disconnected and let her rejoin. And while I'm doing that, Core, what was your favorite moment from tonight's finale? There were a lot of sort of fan servicey moments. Which one actually stood out to you as a favorite?
Well, since we're referencing other shows, Harvey's Vows, where he called himself a gambler, immediately took me back to my Bones days, where Booth made this huge speech to Brennan about how he had to make the move to, make them canon because he was the gambler. And, Harvey also just acknowledging that he's pretty much knew he was going to marry Donna since day one, which we all knew. But it was nice to hear him say, the one fan service moment I wasn't a fan of was Harvey saying Donna Roberta Paulson during his
Yes.
proposal.
Oh my God. That's not her middle name. That's not her middle name.
I feel like that was Korsh doing that to us.
I tweeted about that a few weeks ago where I was like, listen, I know the proposal's going to be ruined by them saying Donna Roberta Paulson. It's Donna Evelyn Paulson. We have a long history of having confirmed and fought for the name Evelyn to be used. Good news, Shana has joined us for the salt. Shana has a true legend. We have a long history of fighting for Donna Evelyn Paulson to be referred to by her correct name. I knew that, and that's why, I was screen recording all sorts of the funny clips, the first dance and the whatever, that was why I didn't screen record the proposal, because I'm not putting Donna Roberta Paulson on my timeline. You can't make me do it. Shana, Cora was just going through one of her favorite moments, so I'm going to toss it to you. We may get a less salty moment. We may get a more salty moment. Shana, what was your favorite moment out of all of the beautiful fan servicey moments from tonight's finale?
Donna saying that she wanted to go see Louis right away, and Harvey saying, no, I want to dance with my wife. Because first of all, it was just, she's always been so selfless. So the fact that she wanted to go share somebody else's happy moment when she had just finally gotten hers was real, so real. And on the other hand, as a dancer myself, and as somebody who through Instagram learned that Gabriel has clearly had training.
Really?
Whether he will ever admit it or not. Oh my God. There's a video I think his wife took a little over a year, maybe 2 years ago now, where he was doing this kind of goofing off, but clearly technique-y développé with perfect arches and feet and
I don't know any of the words you're saying, but I'm very impressed.
Yeah, clearly he's got skills, and clearly Sarah does too, because there's no way they partnered like that without both of them having some kind of background. So I really and kind of the continuation of it in terms of when they did go see Louis, he's a guy, he didn't care, he wasn't upset that they hijacked his moment. He was just happy for them, and they all had their little group hug, and he kind of voiced what we were all thinking about, but you shouldn't ever leave me, and it was really touching. The whole night was just really, really touching.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I think the moment that you've listed, Shana, where Louis doesn't have even the slightest bit of selfishness about them hijacking his wedding, he's just happy for them. I think that is kind of an ultimate Louis redemption moment. That shows that even this thing Louis has dreamed of, his wedding, he's willing to share it with his quote unquote arch nemesis or arch rival or whatever, right? That is ultimate sort of, he finally got there. he's finally willing to be happy for others and not competitive. And I thought that was beautiful. I don't even know if I could pick a favorite moment. I think maybe the first dance I thought was really pretty. That's super cliche, but just super aesthetically pleasing. And as someone who's kind of an obnoxious diehard fan of weddings, the first dance was when I was fully sold on their like wedding aesthetic. The fact that they were both in black, the fact that Donna was in a black dress, all of that just looked perfect. No pun intended. Pun a little bit intended. So I guess I'll pick that. Looking in the chat, Stormy agrees. Donna is totally not a Roberta. That's totally not cool. Yeah, I agree, Stormy. Her name's Donna Evelyn Paulson. You can refer to her Wikipedia page's history and any number of Chinese and Swedish sites from 2016, I believe, and that will confirm it long before her middle name ever came out as Roberta. In case anyone was curious about their Suits history. Now, I'm going to end with one last question, even though I know we're already over time. I know we can't theorize about what are we most looking forward to, because obviously we're going to be following probably most of these casts through whatever next television endeavor they do, or movie, or whatever, directing, etc. But in terms of looking back on Suits, I kind of made you pick a favorite moment for tonight's episode. Do you have, and it's okay if you don't, because I know this is a loaded question, do you have a favorite scene or a favorite line from Suits overall? Shana, do you want to start with that one, or do you want to pass? Play or pass?
I would. So I'm gonna go with kind of both the scene and the line, and I'm gonna cheat on the scene because I'm good at that.
Okay.
The painting. The episode. Every time they showed him looking at the painting ever in the history of the series, anything having to do with Lily and her artwork and her son.
Did Shana cut out for everybody else, or just me?
Oh no, I don't see her.
Oh, Shana, rejoin us. You just went black again. Okay, while Shana is rejoining us. Oh, hold on. She just went white. Maybe that's a good thing. No, she's going to rejoin us. Okay. Core, while Shana is rejoining us, would you like to take a stab at the difficult $1 million question of your favorite scene from tonight's episode? Also, it looks like Shana has rejoined us now, but continue.
Okay, so we'll let Shana finish because she was in the middle of an answer.
Okay, Shana, go ahead.
I don't even know where I was. I know I was crying because
the painting.
The painting episode, the journey related to it, the character, just anything having to do with it, but especially the episode. And for lines, really, and I think it was. I don't know why this took me so long. But tonight, actually, the line that when he first started his vows / monologue, kind of coupled with what Lewis was going through, talking about love being dangerous and terrifying, and you could lose people. That was kind of, I mean, I always knew that was clearly a big part of why he kept himself walled off, but it was also kind of a big light bulb moment of why it was easy to identify with Mr. Rich White male winning at everything when I'm kind of poor, also white, I guess, but female losing at everything. Because that whole sequence and the way it was cut, I think, is going to be a pretty big deal. If I were to throw it way back, probably Donna saying, "Oh, I already took care of that. We've been married for however many years." I think it's a big one. Intent. I mean, there's so many big moments, and as great as that montage was, they also left some really, I think, key stuff out because they couldn't do the 3-hour montage for network requirements. But I think those two, the painting and the theme of that, kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm talking about with the quote. I think that's what I'm going to take away probably from all of this.
Yeah. You have a really good mix of like the big scenes, the quotes everybody knows, and like the kind of unknown, lesser known, under the radar, underrated scenes. So I like that mix. Core, I'm gonna toss it to you
You do this
next.
long enough, you know.
What now?
You do this long enough, they stick with you.
Yeah, it's like we're professionals or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Core, I'm gonna toss it to you to select your favorite scene or moment from Suits, the complete series, the closed canon, to use, I don't know, church terms.
Well, I'm gonna have to throw back to season 2
Mm.
because that's the season I really started with. But it was when Donna was fired. Hashtag Donna. um, and Harvey was, just stalking her as he does. And he tracked her down outside of her apartment and told her that he said, I can't be me without you. That was like, that started it all for me. So, like, it's a very nostalgic moment.
Yeah. I
Good one.
I think like season 2 of Suits for me. So I watched Suits back in season 1. I don't know why this is somehow season 1. I keep pointing this direction. I watched Suits back in season 1, but at the time I was like I wasn't really like live tweeting or anything, but in season 2, that was when I got into the social media side of it. So I was already current to everything, but that and the Save Donna and all of that for me, that was like the height of social media interaction with a television show, or I guess maybe my first like heavy taste of it. And eventually that led to like CW shows. So don't worry, kids, it gets worse. But that was such a like that was one of those moments where you watch it and you just have to share it with everybody else. You have to engage. You have to be a part of the storyline. I thought that was fabulous. If I'm picking a line, it's super like cliche, but I would probably pick the "I'm not apologizing for who I am" line.
Oh.
I think that one really stuck with me. And I think for me, when I started watching this show, I was this like, undergrad student. I think I was barely 20 years old. Like, there was no like I didn't have anything that these women had, right? Like they had these grown up jobs, and they were grown ups, and they wore grown up clothes, and they didn't wear leggings and a hoodie all day, and they were charming and funny and glamorous. I just adored everything about the way they were portrayed. And I hadn't really seen women portrayed that way on television that much. I knew it happened, I just hadn't seen it very much. And they were so aspirational. And now I'm nothing like that, but like I'm maybe like a half a step closer to it. I grew up a tiny, tiny bit over the last few years. And that line, the "I'm not apologizing for who I am," I think is kind of a key mantra on that journey to someday not be as cool or glamorous as them, but keep trying, I guess.
That reminds me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Reminds me. We can't end this without talking about Jessica Pearson.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think
I'm handing you the mic. Take it away.
I think for me, another really big thing, and I actually got a comment when I wrote that finale recap that, oh no, you're eulogizing too much, or you're seeing it through rose-colored glasses because she left. But I think a really big deal for me was, something that unless you're watching so-called black television, which I hate thinking like Family Matters was not just for black people. It was a great show. Fresh Prince was a great show. It was not black, but so seeing a woman of color in a position where she was, first of all, a woman in general, but then adding of color to it, where Jessica was the queen and the god and the everlasting of this universe. And when she left, she went out in a way that looked like it could be in disgrace, but that she just absolutely tore shit down. She went out standing up for the people she loved, and she went out saying, they gave the flashbacks to when she was younger, saying, this isn't even who I wanted to be, who I set out to be to begin with. I want to do good. And then she, we saw her do the Innocence Project thing with Rachel, and seeing those two women work together and seeing her go out wanting to do good, and seeing then Mike and Rachel went out wanting to do good, and now Harvey and Donna, like that. Jessica Pearson getting to see Gina Torres own shit from day one. Like, you're talking, we got so little Jessica comparatively, but she would say line and that was it. I think that's another thing that we really need to be. I'm eternally grateful for, and I'm very mindful of it. I wish there was more of it, and I wish it didn't have to be special. But it's just special from day one, because it made Donna the secretary, the person who knew everything, who was actually really better than everybody else in a lot of ways. That made just what she was. It made Rachel just a paralegal. Was the one that had to show Mike the ropes. Mike super bright the ropes. I think, though there were definitely always missteps, this show also gave us, you talked about it a bit too, but just kind of looping it back around, including everybody, the show gave us women in a way that we very rarely have seen. And that especially, again, it was not great. The way Donna rose from just Harvey's secretary to COO, or execution, all that was a gentleman. We owe it a lot to these people that we set out to do that, however they want to do it.
Yeah.
I think I love women, especially when they have the happy endings.
Yeah, I think I can't say it any better than you, so I won't reiterate it. That's perfect. I think, okay, so just to round this out though, so I kind of, gave my little hard eye speech about Donna. Shana did Jessica justice, and some other characters up in there as well, very eloquently, more than I could. Core, the last girl in the Suits trio that we didn't really see truly on our screen tonight, other than in flashbacks, was Miss Rachel Zane. But I really like hearing your take on Rachel Zane, because I remember back in the day you were always fighting for more for her. You wanted better for Rachel, and I think it was because obviously you were often in very similar positions, early young female career, lawyer. Right? How do you
also leaving the practice of law to get married to a prince? So
yeah, you did that one too.
So say we all.
Yes. How do you feel about sort of the characters that we left behind, the ones that we didn't see in the finale, the ones you remember from way back when? Do you feel like there's any ghosts in Suits past that stand out to you, or like most important big things we should remember?
yeah, so like maybe basically anyone who Mike Ross dated that wasn't Rachel.
Yeah.
I always felt like they got the shaft and treated really badly for all the Suits' greatness with Jessica and Rachel and Donna and Katrina and now Sam. Um, they really did not treat the women well, mainly because they didn't work at the firm probably, so they just didn't care. But I want to throw it back to the OG, Cammie, who was the heart of the show for a while, and it was, Mike's compass. Um, and she's the reason a lot of the developments that we have today happen, because, her life and her dedication to the characters of Suits and their relationships really outlasted her even after she was gone. So, Cammie, we love you.
Oh, well, Thank you for your final bit there, Core. And thank you, Shana, for joining. I already have, I know we're over time, so I'm going to try to let these lovely ladies go live their lives, even though they'll never get rid of me because I'm going to be in their Twitter feed forever bugging them. I already have Shana's information in the description below. You all know and love her. I'm going to put Core's information. I'm keep gesturing to Jessica and saying Core. I hope you take that as a compliment. I'm going to put Core's information in the description below as well. And I'm not saying goodbye to anybody on here because somebody's going to get rid of me, but Shana and Core. I'll start with Core and then go to Shana. Would you guys like to take us out and say your goodbyes?
I'll go since I have been on these live chats the least. Obviously, this is my only time. But I want to thank all the Suits fans who have been like an incredible family. I mean, Suits did it best when they dedicated the whole episode to you guys. You really are. I've been in CW fandoms, and this Suits fandom is nothing like that. It really is a family. And a special thanks to Cammie, who has been my friend for a very long time, especially thanks to Suits for bringing us together.
Thank you, Core. All right, and Shana, would you like to take us away as well?
Oh God, I'm so glad. Thank you to everyone who's listened to me say stupid shit and who's actually read my novellas. Yeah, this fandom, it's really like no other. I think even, because obviously families don't always get along. I think even whenever I've fallen out with people, I still felt like they were kind of lurking in the background, still supportive. And we've been through, this fandom has been through some shit. See also Paula and Thomas and disagreements over whether or not the season 6 ending was appropriate or not, and disagreements over this character and that character, and we've just I can't thank everybody enough for sticking with us. And I know the actors never watch this, but shout out to them because they've given us characters that they're just so real. Like you really do feel like you can reach out and touch them, that you really love somebody you love.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool, and also pretty crushing, actually. It's been fun. It's been real. I hope we have more Pearson, so maybe we can at least see Jessica some more. Lose everybody. But if not, even that, I wouldn't. Even the rough times, I wouldn't change a day because it got us here.
Yeah. Well said. What a perfect end.
I lit up vodka mug is empty, so we really should be.
And like Core, I am not saying goodbye to Shana either, as she mentioned as well. If Pearson continues, you guys will have us more than you want us as well. But for tonight, that was Shana's farewell. And if you would like to hear more of her thoughts, I highly recommend you go read her Suits summary, Suits review, and all of her information is in the description below. And as for me, that's all. And then there was one, whatever that Agatha Christie book is. Thank you to everybody for joining for however many episodes I've been doing this. I will still be on here reviewing other shows, but there won't ever be another one quite like Suits. Not because it was a 5 out of 5 always, or even often, or maybe even ever, but because the characters drew me in and allowed me to overlook the episodes that were 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5, and because I had a chance to come on here and chat with you all and to meet a lot of people online and then in person, and some I'll never meet in person as well. And I have had the greatest time growing up with this show. So I'm not yet where all the Suits ladies were when they started this show, but I'll continue working towards that, or at least I'll be on here. But for now,